Dr. Yoon Kwon Chae was born in Seoul, Korea in 1932. He dedicated his life to Jesus Christ at the site of his father's martyrdom, where his father and many other preachers were killed by the communists during the Korean War 60 years ago. After 5 years of fighting against invading forces, he came to the USA and graduated from San Jose Bible College and Lincoln Christian Seminary and a few others for the degrees of BA, MA, and Doctor of Theology. He was ordained in 1960 and went back to Korea in 1962 and started to work in the war-torn city of Seoul, Korea. Dr. Chae prayed for at least 5 years of ceasefire to work, and God gave him 50 years. His first church was in a refugee town called Dongwon-dong, where he also started a Bible college and orphanage, among many others. He started with a publishing house in 1963, the Braille Bible School in 1966, and the Bible Correspondence School in 1964, where the number of students reached 2,000. Korean people were hungry and thirsty for the gospel. In the picture, John, Dr. Chae's son, is holding some lessons of the Bible Correspondence School. He also was busy in prison evangelism and military evangelism. One time, he baptized 125 prison inmates in 1 hour during the lunchtime, which was the only time they gave him, and had baptismal backache for several days. He prayed for a Bible college, and God gave him 1 building and 17 students. The Bible College grew to Seoul Christian University with 1,000 students and sending out hundreds of preachers every year. Now his students are ministering all over Korea and the world. This picture was taken at his 70th birthday with some of the graduates and Christian church ministers and missionaries. Many of them work in dangerous areas such as China and the border of North Korea. In fact, several were imprisoned by the communists and died. This is a picture of a mission rally commemorating the centennial of the Korean Church, and more than 1 million Christians were there. It rained and Dr. Chae shouted, "Let's stand up and sing," and 1 million people stood up and sang, "Onward, Christian Soldiers." He didn't mean to start an orphanage, but he started to pick up homeless children from the streets and brought to his house, and the children grew to hundreds. So far, the Chaes raised around 1,000 children, and many of them are now Christian ministers and social workers. Presently, there are 83 children and 25 workers in the orphanage and Children's Social Welfare Center. Both Dr. Chae and Mrs. Chae had received meritorious medals from the Korean government. Dr. Chae has been broadcasting gospel messages to South and North Korea, China, and even Russia for more than 40 years. He held many meetings in China in secret and to North Koreans who had come over the border risking their lives. The sign says, "Please save us, we are dying." He spoke in many conventions and held evangelistic meetings in many parts of the world, such as in Brazil, Africa, Australia, and communistic Asian countries, such as Vietnam, Laos, etc. His prayer at the top of the mountain on the border of North Korea is for the salvation of both South and North Korea and the other Asian countries suffering under the non-Christian dictatorship. And he will be preaching this gospel to the height of his voice and to the last breath of his life. For the gospel is our only hope for the world.